Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
Why don't we get into what we like to do around here, you know? It's that time to talk about Bachelorette on our show! Yes, but before we get talking Bachelorette, YouTube, you know what's going to need to happen. I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelorette content just like this. And if you just did, you. Huge shout out to you. Ooh, wee. Air horns for you. You know, no one took us up on our offer to write a comment on our video this week. So
I saw that.
Just shout
I was
out to
a little disappointed.
I mean, dude, we're getting like pretty good views and stuff. Like, I appreciate everybody watching and subscribing.
Give us some love in the comments section.
Just straight
Say
up,
hey.
like, leave us a comment. We'll give you a shout
Give
out.
us I know you have thoughts.
Yeah.
We all have thoughts on this shit. Give us some of your thoughts.
Write a comment down below, and we'll shout you out on the next episode. Like, you'll see us shouting you out on this video next week. That'd be cool, right? If not, then just hit that thumbs up and subscribe to stuff that we said in the beginning that I haven't memorized yet. But this week, I'm gonna give it the sad trombone.
Yeah, give it the sad trombone.
Week 8,
a waste of 2 hours of my goddamn time.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it was kind of lackluster.
It did not give what I expected it to. I mean, I have to give it to the folks that make those little previews, because I thought we would maybe be getting a little bit of something. I feel like men tell all for the past several seasons that we've been doing of the tell-alls, I feel like have been lackluster.
Well, the lackluster thing, I mean, the most thing that we got that was most interesting was a look at Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, obviously,
really?
That's
yeah.
like, I feel like the Super Bowl of what we do here. But, the problem is that, like, most casts are just like, there's so much love happening, like, with all the men and
Which
stuff.
I like that too.
Yeah, but the problem is that there's not everybody is like in on the love, and the people that aren't in on the love are not going to show up. Like, they have the choice,
which
I
is
guess.
cowardly.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that they have a choice not to show up for that episode. Like, how is that possible? Maybe they just have a good excuse, like, my job won't allow me to leave, or they got COVID or something. But, like,
because I feel like their contracts are pretty tight in different ways. But I guess, like, would they, what would be the legality of trying to hold somebody against their will to be on national television? I mean, like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we got contestants that are not showing up for this, but they're going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. So
yeah, Hayden.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but, before we get into the actual men tell all stuff, we get a weird, we had our final hometown date that we almost all forgot about, Aven. And Aven's from Salem, Massachusetts, super spooky, where the witches be, and all that stuff. So I was hyped. Definitely does not seem to fit Aven's vibe for little we know of Aven during this season, which is, nothing besides that he's pretty. And they start the date by going to, of course, like a little witch magic shop. And Lorelai, the love witch, speaks in her thick Massachusetts accent and casts a love spell on Aven and Rachel. And as they're like trying to leave the love spell, the table flips over and they're all like, is this a bad omen? Oh my God. But in general, it was very lackluster. I felt like that was built up to be a bigger thing in the previews. And I was like, okay, it was just like a moment. Yeah, I mean, they just had to get this out of the way. Like, honestly, I was just kind of even annoyed the way they were trying to, like, make it all something important. Like, yeah, he's meeting the parents, but she was all, like, trying to build it up like, I'm nervous because you said that, like...
Because you said that your parents have never approved, like, and, like, even was all like, yeah, like, my mom didn't approve of this one girlfriend, and my dad didn't approve of this other girlfriend, and they've been separated. So, like, it's not like they both have never approved of any girl I've ever dated, but...
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, it's just like, what do you think, you're going to be another bad girlfriend for me? You should have nothing to worry about. Like, and it's a big deal because this is the first one that both my parents are meeting. I'm just like, man, just get this
I
over
know,
with.
which, like, and that's, I feel like that was, he's like, yeah, I guess I realized that this was the first time both of them are meeting my girlfriend. And also, this is the first time they've been together in Massachusetts in 6 years. And then Rachel's all like, bitch, what? Like, yeah, buried the lead, dog. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
So, bury the lead. So we get to meet the parents. They're really nice. You know, I thought we were going to get another, you know.
I thought we were going to get another Tino.
Yeah. Which, you know, Tino's dad has been going off in the back end of all this stuff. Like, he's a real
been, like,
show
saying
hater.
He's been saying shit about, like, Tino, how Tino looked and, like, whatever. Tino's dad has been making a fool of himself, I feel like, you know.
Well, you know, so Aven's dad actually is like, let's go talk. Like, I'm like, oh, man, it's about to get serious. And he asked her some hard questions.
He has some hard questions.
But, you know, she
had some kind of canned answers because I feel like we know nothing about Aven for her to be like, we have a really strong connection. I'm like, you think he's pretty? I think he's pretty. He's a pretty man. He's maybe said a maximum of like 5 different words, I feel like, this entire time.
Do a little homework, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the questions. This is your last one. You know the questions you're going to be asked. Like, come up with some original shit. Like, you know you're going to be, like, doing these back-to-back.
Yeah, say more than they're just so caring, and I feel like they care so much, like, and that I know they're such a nurturing, loving like, she said the same stuff about all of her dudes, which, like, I mean, I think obviously that's a characteristic that she really looks for in a partner, which is fine. But it's like, then explain, like, I feel like it's like almost like a job interview. You got to give supporting details to, you know, how they are that way. Like, he's so caring and does this because of this, that, or the other. Like, but like in relation to your relationship, which she does not do.
I mean, I don't know if there is a lot to talk about, like we said at the beginning.
I don't really think there's much to talk about with Aven.
Yeah.
I mean, she's had a one-on-one date with him, and I feel like I learned not much more about him in that one-on-one.
Yeah, he just seems like a sweetie. But so parents approve. It ends up being a good time. And then they do this weird thing where they don't even show the rose ceremony.
Rose ceremony. And they ask us, they give us the spoiler. All of them get roses. Nobody gets sent home. And then they tell us that we could go, if we want to watch it, we could go to abc.com looking for that fucking click-through. But, like, why? We have no incentive.
Well, this season's a wash. This season's a wash. That's what this is starting to come out to. Like, it seems like the format is not really working. Like, you know, the girls are too nice to even send guys home after meeting their parents and stuff. Like, this is the name. This is what what we got to do. Like, what do you mean you can't send home anybody, like, after this?
I think she wants, you know, I think they both want to see, like, what the physical connection could be like, or that deeper off-camera connection.
Of course they do. So, yeah, I mean,
because that's where, you know, the metal meets the pedal. That's where the you know, the foot hits the road situation. It just like stumbled through multiple idioms. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
I think I got it. The P meets the V. So yeah, I mean, so they all get to stay. We don't see a rose ceremony, and we get into the men tell all. So what's going on with this?
This men tell all. So when it comes to the dudes that are there, because it's always like less, but I felt like this season especially they had less dudes there. But I guess that has to do with the fact that there's double the amounts of dudes that are going into fantasy suites. So of course there's going to be less dudes. But the random night one person that they bring back is Roby, and he looks completely different. He did his hair platinum. He bleached his hair. He looks kind of like he went from being like a magician to being Draco Malfoy vibes, magician to wizard, if you will. And then they have like other main players like, you know, Nate and Spencer and Logan's there and Meatball and the whole gang. Ethan, Tyler's there looking like a cutie patootie. Tyler only said nice things. Even after he was so mercilessly dumped on television, he's all like, she did it perfect. I wouldn't have wanted her to done it. Like, she did the best she could in that moment. And I'm like, damn, Tyler, you're too good for us all. But this whole Men Tell All was just like a huge sponcon, honestly. There's so much sponsored things. There was, drops about the Kardashians. There was a whole bunch around Virgin Voyages, which is what they did their cruises with, and they brought up the whole app, how you could, when you're on your, on your cruise, you could request champagne, and so they brought champagne out to everybody in the audience, and then
gave away a free cruise to everybody.
Yeah, that's what's changing everybody's life. And you know what I have to say?
What?
Jesse Palmer, you're not changing my goddamn life. Where's my crib?
That's what I missed that part. So that's what's changing everyone's life.
That's what's changing everybody's life, Sai.
Yo, I'm
sad
trap. I've got to give a sad trombone for that.
We've been rough.
That's not fair, dude. Not only that, but they got like the reaction for the edits and stuff from everyone, like doing the Oprah dance and shit. So I hate Jesse for this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I hate Jesse for this. We all hate Jesse for this. And it looks like with the previews they were showing of Bachelor in Paradise, that the girls from Paradise are all going to be hating Jesse for some other reason as well. So
we'll talk about that later. Side note on that, because I want to talk more about the previews. But yeah, so they get boats. Do you think everyone gets like a +1, or they have to like do it like this weekend? Or
yeah, I'm like, there has to be conditions where you have
no
to
windows
use it
in your room.
Yeah, I'm sure you have to use like within a certain amount of time, and I'm sure it's like only for you.
You have to fly your way to the port.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you gotta get your own way to the boat. I'm sure. So.
Yeah. So, anything else really happening? I mean, what is like the drama with the men? Like, what do we got?
The main drama is they kind of, which I think, they try to nip it in the bud as quickly as they could because they weren't there. They talked a lot about Chris, who was the one early on, like week 2, saying stuff about fantasy suites and how he wouldn't want the girls to fuck other people. And
he didn't show.
Huh?
He didn't show, and they said he had bad breath too.
Yeah, all of the dudes are all like, dude, that Chris guy was a piece of shit. Like, they all were, like, going in. They're like, he's not here to defend himself, but, like, I would say this to his face. And, like, they were, like, going in. And then they're like, all right, we're over that because he's not here. And then people in the audience, there was one guy who's dressed up like Rambo. Like, Rambo, this.
I love how they, like, the producers are making the signs and handing them out. Like, who wants to have a sign? You might be on TV.
Right. And somebody was dressed as Rambo with, like, the same... Like Rambo, the actual like character, not like the dog.
Yeah, like Sylvester
But with
Stallone.
the same duck thing as the dog. And then they all kind of went in on Hayden, who was also a coward and didn't show up. But he will be on, it's from the previews, he's going to be on Paradise. But
see, that would have been like what made, that having Hayden there would have made the Men Tell All like amazing.
That actually would have made it worth our while because it would have actually been like a Men Tell All because they would have been able to get more of an interaction of like, these dudes definitely did not like the way that Hayden was talking. Like, they all were having issues. Like, they're all like, he was saying this kind of stuff. It was definitely like...
That's why I feel like Roby was talking up because they paid him a little extra to be like the asshole of this.
I know. When it's hilarious because like all the other dudes are like, you literally were there for like a couple of hours. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, you know nothing.
There's always
Jon
one
Snow.
of those guys.
Yeah, he was trying to like go at like, different people for like, he was trying to go at Meatball for how Meatball flip-flopped or like whatever.
That's commendable actually.
It was kind of commendable, and like Meatball's all like, yeah, like I kind of fucked that up, but I made it happen. I mean, Meatball was there for laughs. Meatball was our comic relief.
True.
So I mean, he was harmless, and he also, exposed the shitty people. So
that's true.
Can't really be harmed by Meatball, to be honest. But it seemed like, in general, everybody went on an apology tour. Like, all the people that rejected Rachel and Gabby for different reasons apologized.
Oh, they got to get it out of the way because most of the people apologizing are going to be on the beach.
On Paradise, because one of them is Jacob, who, is the like romance novel looking motherfucker, and he did like a very heartfelt apology to Gabby.
I thought it was pretty sincere.
I thought it was actually sincere.
I mean, you know, people apologize, but he was willing to, you know, put his neck out there for it. Like, you know.
I agree. I think he was pretty apologetic. I believe him, and I'm interested to see like his persona on the beach. But you know, the main villain, I guess, of sorts that actually got to go on the hot seat was Logan, because Logan was there. Mm-hmm. And we didn't get anything out of Logan's hot seat. Like, he didn't really talk about his mental health. He didn't really he like barely danced around the idea of like, he pretty much said the same shit he said during the season when he was trying to figure out how he wanted to, like, you know, switch sides. And the guys kind of pushed him on it, and and he just was like, you know, like, I wish I'd done it more gracefully, but this is what I had to do.
You're not going to make me believe that he was a villain. Like, he just wasn't. He seems sweet and honest, and he stands up for himself. I don't see the appeal
in Logan, personally.
I mean,
as I'm seeing these previews of all these ladies going after him on the beach, I personally don't see.
I could see it. I mean, out of all the guys,
I guess I could see it. He's got the look that many of these girlies go for these days. But I just want to mess his hair.
There's usually the one, you know, saying the one out of it.
I think he's got the charisma for sure, and I think that's kind of how he made it work when he was trying to figure out both sides of the coin of these two bachelorettes. He's definitely charismatic, and he's
got some type of swag going.
He's got some swag. He apologized to the girls as well for how, you know, it all went down, and Rachel even apologized to her dudes for, you know, canceling their group date in Bruges for that whole situation. So the bunch of apologizing all went around.
So let's talk about Nate.
They did a whole big montage on Nate and
they're really
Gabby's
trying to campaign him to be the Bachelor because they probably have nothing better.
Yeah, I don't know
who. But I don't want to see him as the Bachelor.
I don't really want to see him as the Bachelor either.
Like, you know, I think if you're gonna pick somebody, like, he just doesn't seem like. I don't think I'd be entertained by it. He seemed like
he really only had eyes for Gabby, so I don't really see. To me, I don't see the appeal of him as the Bachelor because, like, I don't really see him with a love story with like other people, because especially with like how they had to talk through him having like a main chick and a side chick and how that all came out.
Yeah, and what sucks is that he's probably still in the running for it. That's probably why he wasn't on Paradise. But he might have missed out on his opportunity to go into Paradise, because I hope they don't pick him, because I honestly, that would be a very boring season, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think he's lead material. I really loved him and Gabby's relationship together, and I could tell they were both kind of still like a little heartbroken about it, both of them. And, you know, he explained the whole stuff that we've all seen on social media about the one girl that he dated and whatever, and he's like, you know, he tried to explain like the divide of like how he's divided his life, compartmentalized away from his daughter and stuff like that, which I can sort of understand, but I also can't. Like, if you're gonna say that like your daughter is like, you know, number one big part of your life, and then you're not gonna tell people that you're maybe seriously dating, which that whole seems to be unknown with like how serious he was with different people. I think that's
at the very least, you're wasting somebody else's time.
You're wasting people's time, and honestly, you're wasting your own time too, because like that's gonna have to be.
Well, I mean, he's choosing to do that. It's not like all of a sudden
your kid goes like isn't a part of the, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that like, I mean, it's just him being an F-boy. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, and they're trying to clean it up because they're trying to make him be the Bachelor, and I just don't think like it's working for us. You know, just like they're trying to make Logan the villain. They're trying to make this dude the Bachelor, and I'm not buying any of this. Like,
no, I could see maybe Logan being more of like a heartbreaker on Paradise, to be honest. But I mean,
I'd rather see Logan as the Bachelor. And that's not saying much. Yeah, I just think he'd be more entertaining. Like, you know.
I mean, yeah, I think he has those.
There was nothing entertaining
vibes.
about Nate this season. I've laughed a couple times at Logan saying things on this season.
I mean, like, I really had heartfelt emotions for Nate and Gabby's relationship. But yeah, that doesn't mean I want Nate to be like, it's not like where when they broke up, where there's been times like in other seasons where like, you know, a female lead breaks up with a dude and I'm all like, wow, I really want him to find love. For me, with like when they broke up, I was like, wow, that really sucks, because like that like was a breakup that neither of them really wanted to happen.
So we get a little look at this Bros movie. It looked funny.
It looks great. It's the first like major studio gay rom-com with all actual like gay folks playing gay roles, and with Billy Eichner and stuff like that. And it looks like it's going to be a dope movie. I'm excited. And they played that. This was another big bunch of sponcon where they played like a game with them being all like dates, do's and don'ts with like the girls. And then Meatball came out and redid his pouring the sauce on himself, which I just really, and then like tackled Billy Eichner. I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah, they're trying to make that go viral. And then, yeah, I mean, then like really what ended up happening, they brought out some people from Bachelor in Paradise, like some alum that's going to be on there to talk about it. I wonder if any of those people had a relationship with any of those people that are sitting right there.
I don't know, because I know Genevieve, I think her and Aaron are going to be a thing. I don't know who Victoria P is going to be with.
Probably,
or Victoria
dude, you know what? Like, Victoria, like, as hot as I think she is, like, I don't know. She kind of seems like she has a sucky personality.
That's what I was about to say.
No, like, I don't know. Like, she's hot, but
like,
yeah, I don't know
like
what it is.
And like, I could tell she was like trying to do like dry humor is my thing. Like, on being all like, well, I'm 28 and nothing's working. And I'm all like, shut up.
Yeah, it's because you're too picky. That's what's
equally as hot as you. You're fine.
Yeah, you're too picky. Like what? Like her dating history that we know of is
not even. I wouldn't even say too picky. She dated Chris Soules.
Well, I mean, she likes that whole cowboy thing. Because she also dated that, what's his name, Chase Rice, the country singer. Or I don't know, it's dating.
So I don't think she's that. I think she just has a bad type.
Yeah. Yeah, she just likes rich country boys.
Ew.
So, yeah, I mean, and we had a look at Paradise. What do you think?
I'm interested to see what Jesse does to like turn the girls against him at one point, and like how it gets resolved. It looks like it's going to be a raunchy season.
What do you think he does? Like it's like the girls have to pack up and leave.
Yeah, and
do you think like they bring in like other people?
I don't know. Like, it looks like they head to a different resort or something, and they all scream "F you, Jesse Palmer."
It'd be interesting if they did like, isn't that what they do in other shows where they like have them go away and then bring in new people like to flirt, and then they have to come back and be like,
like it's kind of like a test of one of those like let's try to break you up situation. I don't know, like there's shows like that.
Yeah. I mean, who do you end up picking at the end and stuff? I don't know. Like, there's obviously some type of twist. I mean, it does feel like I'm getting older looking at this cast, but you know, it looks to be interesting. They got a nice bunch of characters on there.
Yeah. So for what we've seen released for the Bachelor in Paradise cast, we know for the men, we see Casey Woods and Romeo Alexander and Brandon Jones. Brandon, super cutie. All three of those are from Michelle Young's season. Logan and Jacob from this most recent season of Bachelorette. And then from Katie's season, we've got Michael A., Andrew Spencer, and Justin Glaze. And then it looks like, you know, Aaron's going to be back on the beach as well.
I love Aaron, though. Like, he's so entertaining.
He's a goof. Yeah. He's a goober.
Yeah, because, like,
he's an
like,
idiot sometimes.
He gets a girl, and then he gets so, like, attached and
and then
jealous.
He tries to throw it in their face, but whatever.
Yeah, it's funny.
For the women, it seems like a lot of Clayton's season, which makes sense, makes up the women's side. So we've got Shanae, we've got Hunter, we've got Sierra, we've got Haley, who I totally forget, we've got Kira, we've got Genevieve, Jill, Serene, and Teddy. So
a lot of hotties.
A lot of hotties. And then we also have Brittany from Matt James's season. I think we have a couple other people who were on the beach last time, as well as we have Lace, who's been to Paradise before and got engaged last time she was on Paradise. She was from Ben Higgins' season. She got engaged to Grant during that time. So interested to see how, some of these different pairings work out. But as we could see from the preview, it looks like Hayden's going to be there. Looks like Aaron's going to be there. Maybe if Aaron's there, will James be there? Probably. It looks like, some faves from the past seasons.
I really wonder, I'm still thinking about Victoria, what they didn't show her at all. And
that's what I was thinking. We didn't see her in any of the little preview snippets. So I'm like, when does she come down?
She probably is there for a day.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's one of the people they try to bring in to break people up, but they're not falling for it.
Oh, I could totally see that.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. She's so hot.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought we might get someone telling us who the next Bachelor is. I
thought that was what was going to change our lives.
Yeah, that was so lame.
Some announcement about Bachelor, but no.
That's the lamest thing ever, to say something like that, put it in all the previews, and then that it's for
and
a giveaway.
And then gift people only at that loser event, a cruise? What? I can't.
Yeah, it was lackluster, to say the least. Well, do we have any other stuff happening in Bachelor Nation?
Not really, that I took notes on, no.
I was hearing Pilot Pete might be back with... Have we talked about that?
With Kelly, yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Is that
because
still
they were
a thing?
seen at the Chicago Cubs game together. They might be, I think.
Kelly's hot too, man.
I mean, yeah. They seem like a little toxic go-around situation.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Well, V, yeah, I guess, leave your comments. Do you think Victoria is going to be coming in hot, or is she going to be leaving cold? Let us know in the comments, hot or cold. Let us
know in the comments, do you like the tell-all episodes?
Yeah. Do you think Nate should be the next Bachelor or not? Leave a comment. And if you do leave a comment, we'll shout you out on next week's episode. Anybody, leave a freaking comment. It helps out with the algorithms, apparently, but I wouldn't know. No, there are some people that leave comments and stuff. We respond. We respond not only in the comments, but we're going to respond here on the show.
Wow.
Yeah. I try to. It's not a lot of work, but, so yeah, guys, we'll see you next week. Is next week the finale?
So next week is Fantasy Suites.
Oh, Fantasy Suites. All right, cool. So,
and then we got Fantasy Suites next week.
I'm really hoping it gets a little interesting here at the end.
We have Fantasy Suites next week, and then I think we have 2 weeks of finales situations on the Tuesdays, and then we pretty much roll right into Bachelor in Paradise right after that.
Really? No break?
No, I'm pretty sure.
All gas, no break. Okay. All right. Well, guys, we'll see you next week in the next couple of weeks. So,
Future Bachelor Podcast.